This, everybody, is Rakdos Control or Rakdos Monarch. So, what this wants to do is kill everything. Kill absolutely everything and make your opponent discard a lot of cards. It is very, very effective at what it does. It, again, is an awful lot like Jund. This probably feels a little bit more like Jund than Mono Black Control would, traditionally, but there's some interesting pieces in this that I'll run through from the very first point that we have here. So first up, we have removal. So because we're in black and red, we are running all of the best removal in the entire format, basically. We are going to start off, we've got 4 Lightning Bolt because we're in red and it's almost strictly incorrect to not play 4 Bolt. We also have 1 Firebolt. It is 1 mana sorcery, deal 2 damage to any target with flashback 5 mana. So it's 2 removal spells, technically card advantage in a way. And a lot of things have 2 toughness. An awful lot of things have 2 toughness. And being able to just have that little bit extra reach or that little extra bit of removal when we need it is very valuable. Little extra things like this to be able to do later in the game. We have 2 Echoing Decay, which is particularly good against, say, Elves or Delver or all that kind of stuff where we need cheap interaction. Sometimes we need to be able to kill multiple things. Basically reads that target creature and all other creatures with the same name get -2/-2 until end of turn. We have 3 Chainer's Edict, so we're a little lower on the edicts than the mono black variant, but for the most part, unless we're against Bogles or something, we're probably okay. Chainer's Edict being 1 in a black sorcery, target player sacrifice a creature with flashback for 7 mana. Sounds like a lot, but you'll get there. We then also have possibly one of the most powerful but restrictive removal spells in the entire format, and that is Terminate. Black, red, instant, destroy target creature. It cannot be regenerated. So just no questions asked, kill it. Just kill it now. And that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That is, this is actually very important. It looks like that we're only really splashing for red removal or red burn, and that's half right. We're running a lot of sideboard cards that tend to help us with a lot of matchups that Mono Black would otherwise have a bit of an issue with. But we will get to those in a moment. But Terminate is also particularly useful here because of Spirit of the Labyrinth, which is in Boros Monarch decks and the Orzhov Pestilence decks, which says protection from monocolored. So sure, Chainer's Edict deals with it, but now Terminate does as well because it's 2 colors. We also have 2 Crypt Rats, which can be a win condition to like just pump a bunch of black mana into it to deal 10 to our opponent's face if we want to, or just wipe the board. Main deck board wipes is very, very handy to have here. So when we're casting all these spells, all these removal spells, we need to start refueling our hand and start getting going again. So we do that with 4 Night's Whisper. Now in the Mono Black Control, this is Sign in Blood, but this is a less restrictive mana cost. It's 1 in a black instead of black for a sorcery, and you draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. The downside is if your opponent is on 2, you can't target them to kill them. That's about the only difference. So Night's Whisper is perfectly good. It is a nice way to refill after spending the first couple of turns blowing out our opponent's creatures and stuff. We have 3 Phyrexian Rager, just a good value creature. 3 mana 2/2, when it enters the battlefield, you draw a card and lose a life. And then the real card advantage engine for this deck is Thorn of the Black Rose. Also why it gets the name Rakdos Monarch sometimes. So 4 mana for a 1/3 with Death Touch, not great, but when it enters the battlefield you become the Monarch, which means on your end step you draw a card, and if you are dealt combat damage by an opponent, that opponent becomes the Monarch instead. Not that big of a deal. We're probably not going to give our opponent the Monarchy possibly ever with the amount of removal that we're running. And so paired up with these are our discard spells. We make our opponent discard quite a few cards in this. We have 2 Okiba Gang Shinobi, which is we're not going to pay the 5 mana for a 3/2. We're going to ninjutsu this in for 4 mana, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player discards 2 cards. So it's a mind rot on a creature, which is pretty sweet. We also have 2 Raven's Crime. So it's black for a sorcery with Retrace, and target player discards a card. So we can keep 1 for winning our opponent like this, drop a Thorn of the Black Rose after a bunch of removal, and then we're kind of good to go. We also have another value creature, which is kind of in line with Phyrexian Rager, and that is Liliana's Spectre. 1 black for a 2/1 Spectre with flying, and when it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. So it's kind of the reverse of Phyrexian Rager in a way. And then we have, surprise, surprise, 4 Chittering Rats. 1 black for a 2/2 rat, and when it enters the battlefield, target opponent puts a card from their hand on top of their library. And then finally, to close up the game when we need to, we have 1 Gurmag Angler. And then in the mana base, again, as all mana bases in Pauper, quite straightforward. There's a little bit more detail to this than a little bit of detail and synergy to a couple of things here. So first of all, we have Bloodfell Caves. So dual land enters tapped and we gain a life. We also have 4 Rakdos Carnarium. Now this is where we're going to have a little bit of the synergies and a little bit of nice little interactions. So this enters the battlefield tapped and taps for black-red, but when it enters the battlefield, you have to return a land from the battlefield to your hand. Now, in order for us to make sure that we can actually get a bit of benefit out of this, we have a couple of specific lands for this. We have 2 Radiant Fountain. This is kind of our go-to way to gain life against more aggressive decks that manage to avoid being hit by removal, or against the likes of Burn. We can play a Radiant Fountain, gain 2 life, and then the following turn we can play Rakdos Carnarium and bounce Radiant Fountain to our hand so that we can play it again, which is quite nice. Same with Bojuka Bog. We've got 2 Bojuka Bogs, and they enter the battlefield and exile all cards from a graveyard. That's pretty sweet. Then we have 4 mountains and 6 swamps, because we are definitely more black heavy. Over on the sideboard, we've got a good spread of stuff here. So we have 3 Duress if we're coming up against more controlling matchups or against Tron. This is very, very handy to have. We've got an additional Chainer's Edict and Diabolic Edict to come in against the likes of Bogles or Heroic. We have 1 more Crypt Rats because we just really want to make sure that Elves players can't beat us. We have 1 Shenanigans. This is an inclusion that I put in. Destroy target artifact, dredge 1, because this can be quite nice against Affinity, obviously. But what we can do is we can blow something up, and then we can use something like a Phyrexian Rager to lose a life, and we dredge this back to our hand as another guaranteed piece of removal. It's quite nice. A little bit of a graveyard synergy, but it's not too reliant at all, really. We then have 4 Pyroblast because we're running red. We should run Pyroblast. Very, very good against the blue decks. And then we have 2 Gorilla Shaman because if we come up against anything with artifacts, we want to make sure we can ruin it. And then finally 2 Nile Spellbombs because additional graveyard hate on top of the Bojuka Bogs is nice in certain matchups. So this is a favorite of mine, to be honest. It's definitely a favorite of mine. We're going to jump into a couple of games and just see how we go, see how we play out. So I'm going to go in, do a bit of tournament practice. And that's trying to get us to join a game that is already full. So let's create another one. Oh, welcome along. Have I tried Unearth in this list? Yeah, that could be good. That could be good. I think I prefer Unearth in the mono black version, I think, but I suppose that now tends to start running any number of what are they called? Omen of the Dead to increase devotion against for Gary. So yeah, I mean I could definitely see Unearth being used here actually. The only thing is that like it is great value. There aren't a whole lot of flex spots, I suppose, in the deck. I suppose 1 or 2 of the Echoing Truths can definitely be shaved if the likes of elves and that kind of thing isn't particularly popular at the time. So I'm gonna yield to this. I'm gonna yield to an Evolving Wilds as well. God, this is gonna sound stupid because this is a Pauper stream and it's obvious that I enjoy Pauper, but like I just love Pauper. It's just so good. It's just so good. Our opponent probably on Scred, or like is it Fairies or Jeskai Ephemerate is still a thing. It's definitely nowhere near as strong with that Astrolabe, but it's still like a tier 3 deck. Oh, I'm gonna get rid of the end of combat thing. That was from our last game with Desert Control. Do I want to hold up for anything here? Do I want to hold up for anything here? Maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna play this and shift the turn. You died a little inside when you saw that Blightning was not in the list. Blightning was in the list. Blightning was in the list a while back when Tron was really dominating, like really dominating. This is Mardu. Interesting. Oh, is this Mardu Reanimator? Oh, I hope this is Mardu Reanimator. That'd be so sweet. That would be so sweet if this is Mardu Reanimator. Mardu Reanimator. I've been looking for a good Mardu Reanimator list. I have 3 different Reanimator lists. There's Reanimator, Turbo Reanimator, and what's the other one? Cascade Reanimator, like Pauper Living End, basically, which is real sweet. There's a Sentinel's Eyes in the bin. I'm thoroughly confused now. Okay, our opponent has a stop on our upkeep, which is weird. I think I'm fine with just... I think I'm fine with just committing to the board. Like, our opponent has obviously set things up in such a way that using Chittering Rats to put a card back on top of the library is not really going to do a whole lot. I don't think. So, it seems like a weird choice of card, Sentinel's Eyes, for a Reanimator strategy, but... look, if it's Mardu Reanimator, I'll be happy. I'll be very happy. Yep, I'm gonna ship it over to them. So far, it's looking like it's Boros. Oh, this could be Boros Bully either. This could be Boros Bully. With the swamp though, that doesn't make sense. They did fetch a swamp. I'm confused. They're gonna flashback looting. Hopefully we'll be able to get a better idea as to what they're at right now, because currently in the bin there's just a bunch of lands. Yeah, they just pitch lands. Oh my god. Are they like hyper flooded? Boros Bully is like the Boros Monarch decks, like the Boros mid-range decks, except it's a little bit more graveyard focused and it is a little more aggressive. So it's able to use Faithless Looting to draw and discard things like Sacred Cat and maybe Sentinel's Eyes. I haven't seen that in lists yet, but also stuff like Prismatic Strands and that kind of thing, and Battle Screech, so that you can flash them all back from the graveyard. It's quite sweet. I used to play it for a while. It was pretty good. I think I'm going to go to combat. I feel like it's probably a good idea to bog them here, because if they have a swamp, I have to be aware of the fact that they could have a Gurmag Angler. So I think I'm going to Spectre them first and then bog them. So I get a bit more information. They pitched a Battle Screech. Yeah, so this is Boros Bully. This is Boros Bully. Let's just get rid of your graveyard. So now we've negated the value that they're going to gain from both Sentinel's Eyes and Battle Screech, which is quite nice. They've now got 4 cards left in their hand, which probably isn't going to be enough to keep up, especially with 3 removal spells. 3 removal spells and a Chittering Rat. Augur of Skulls. What? That's a weird one, but yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm fine with killing this. I'm very much fine with killing this. The clue does reduce the impact that Chittering Rats can have, but it does weaken their clue, so I mean that's a thing too. I'm fine with just an Echoing Decay on this, so that we don't get hit by it. And yeah, it's a weird one. I'm gonna have to look up lists for this because it's quite interesting. Leanne is here too, in case anybody didn't spot that. I mean, it's not like it's any surprise we're stuck in this apartment, so like,
Where else am I going to be?
where else are we gonna be? Yeah.
It's a 1-bedroom apartment. I can't be many other places.
Okay, I think we're in a pretty good spot. They've got 2 cards in hand. The clue will get them another one, but that's not gonna really. I'm not too concerned about it, to be honest. I think the Bajuka Bog was a pretty big game here. And it's exactly why I'm going to be holding on to Terminate. I mean, like, realistically, it still runs Skyfisher. Thinking about it now, like, a lot of the Mardu decks do run Reaping the Graves main deck anyway. So maybe this is like a... Like, I know that it needs, like, Prophetic Prism and stuff to do that, but, like, maybe the number of... Like, they are slower. They're significantly slower, so maybe the difference is like, I don't know. Like, I like the idea of instead of just having a few like incidental graveyard synergies, you have big things like Gurmag Angler and stuff. But I don't know if I'd need black. Like, red is pretty good for the removal. White is pretty good for the creatures and the value and stuff. I'd consider green for Hooting Mandrills. Maybe that might be an interesting one. The more important question is what's on the menu for lunch today. Well, the thing, actually, Al, I'm gonna assume based on the way that's phrased that you're probably in the US. We are in Ireland, so when I leave, it's dinner time. But lunch for me today was just beans on toast because I was lazy. But dinner tonight is Leanne's choice. That's her job while I'm on stream is to figure out what we're having for dinner. I'm thinking of bolting the... Yeah, I'm gonna bolt the Skyfisher, I think. Nailed it.
Can we just eat cheese?
Leanne just wants to eat cheese for dinner. We can make some sort of like mac and cheese. I can do mac and cheese.
I don't know if we've enough cheese.
I just want to eat cheese. We can do mac and cheese. We don't have enough cheese for mac and cheese.
You don't like this in the mac and cheese?
No, that's a smoked cheese. We can't have smoked cheese in mac and cheese. Well, you can, but like a little bit. But hey, it's not dumb. It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna pay 2 here. I'm gonna draw 2. I feel like we're in like a very comfortable position here. I'm not really concerned about the situation at all. Yeah, I'm gonna actually get the rat sound this time because I don't think it's gonna get much better because they're starting to run low on resources. So if we keep going, they might end up just coming down as a 3-mana 2/2, which would be terrible. Chili Mac. That's not a bad idea. Course Skyfisher. Yeah, that's fine. You can replay your Thrabes. Get another. Yeah, they're doing a good job of mitigating the setbacks that we're imposing on them. So, kind of okay with this. Leanne snacking on literally the loudest thing in the apartment. Tortilla chips. I'm good. They're incredibly noisy on stream. Incredibly noisy. Okay, so I think I'm fine with a Terminate here. I'm gonna do it before combat because obviously I want to be able to attack. And I don't think this Edict is gonna get any better because we've seen Battle Screech, so we know that they can start flooding the board. So yeah, I think we're just in beatdown time. I mean, this is a 2-turn clock. Like, they're gonna have to have something pretty good to pull out of this now, I think. If they have 3 removal spells in hand, they might be okay, maybe. I feel like we're in a pretty good spot here. Hey, CFV, welcome. CFV. Good to see you here. Get wrecked. Yes, scrubs. Get wrecked. Never lucky. That's me, all right. It's definitely me. Clue. Okay. Hold on. Excuse me, what? Thermo Alchemy? What are they playing? What the hell is this? This makes no sense. This is like 3 decks in one. Okay. I think... What am I even... I'm gonna just terminate you, bro. Saz. Alright, you better have something good here. Boop, boop. Edict. This is some weird Mardu brew, for sure. I like... The Augur of Skulls threw me. Then the Thermo Alchemist threw me. Actually, the Sentinel's Eyes threw me. Then they all threw me. All engines... I mean... I can see the use in Thermo Alchemist as a reach engine there, but like... That, like... I don't know. That seems like you need to... Seems like you really need to... I mean, we are actually bringing in more rats for sure, yeah. I don't think we need shenanigans. The edicts are probably a bit weak. I'd be okay with duress in this matchup, I think. And drop an edict. I'll go 2 duress because we're actually quite heavy on the discard already. And what's not great here? Actually, I'm not a huge fan of Torrent of Black Rose in this matchup because they have a lot of flying tokens with Battle Screech. And if we don't kill them, then we're kind of in trouble. It's not particularly likely that we'll actually get the Okiba Gang Shinobis through in this match, I don't think. So I think that's fine. Like, we have plenty of like duress effects. We got Raven's Crimes, we got Chittering Rats, we got Liliana Spectre, we got a lot going on. Alright, opening hand. Why are my cards so small? Whoa. Alright, calm down. This is a very black hand, which I'm very happy with. Yep, looks good. Yep. Ah, that's why the cards are small, so I can see the next one. Knight's Whisper Tron, let's go. Yeah, I'm starting to think that I don't actually care too much for the Echoing Decays in this list. This is a list from a while ago, and I chose this one over the one with Blightning in it because I thought it was just a bit more flexible, but we might not need flexible right now. I think I want to try and improve my card quality here, which I didn't really do a whole lot, but I'm fine with discarding a mountain. Let me think about this in terms of future turns. Yeah, double black could be fine. I can see Sentinel's Eyes with Reanimator, so naturally discarding it and come back. Yeah, I can see it. I don't think it'd be particularly good. Like +1/+1 in Vigilance isn't that great. I can see the new... What's the new one? It's not... there's an escape one that gives haste. That could be useful, maybe. That might be good. Yeah, it's very weird. It's a very weird deck. It's unusual, but it's a nice change from every time that I start a stream. I'm like, welcome to the stream. Oh, first game I got murdered, because that always happens. That's basically a tradition at this point. It's weird if it doesn't. I think this turn I'm kind of good with... Ooh, that changes things a little bit. Yeah. They could potentially Battle Screech next turn, which will make life much harder for me based on the fact that I have no real removal here. So I think I would rather duress them. See the 2 Battle Screeches. Oh, yep, that's fine. I thought I'd be able to keep them off of it for a little bit, but no, they're guaranteed at this point. So okay, this hand is mediocre. Uh, I still don't understand the Sentinel's Eyes. I still don't understand them. Not in this deck, anyway. I've definitely seen it in Heroic, and I've seen it in Bogles as well. And they make perfect sense in there. It's an incredible card in there. But, like, what? Is it so... I'm trying to think of, like, are there synergies that I'm missing between, like, it and Thermal Alchemist or something? I don't know. It's a weird one. You gonna bog me? That's fine. I've only got one Gurmag Angler. Watch as I draw it now. I guarantee it. I mean, a 2/2 bird is significantly more irritating. That I can definitely attest to. I'm not too concerned about gaining life in this match, so I think I am good. Honestly, I think I'm pretty okay with Raven's Crime, Night Whisper. I think I'm okay with that. I'm also happy that they played the Bog now, as opposed to the Raven's Crime. Okay, sure. So that makes sense. They got rid of the Sentinel's Eyes. We knew about that already. I'm going to target them again. I'm going to play the Radiant Fountain. Do I have Shrivel or Evankar's Justice? I think... No, we've Crypt Rats, which is much better. And then we'll... I keep going to target myself because I'm too used to casting Sign in Blood. I am probably going to keep this Mountain in hand as well. Possibly to pitch to think. I'm kind of surprised they didn't. Okay, they're going like that. They're playing at a few creatures instead of going the Battle Screech route. That's fine. That means next turn they'll be able to Battle Screech and flash back if we don't kill stuff, which means we're killing stuff. So, it means that we might actually. Well, I'm gonna bolt this because I don't want that living. Definitely want that. Don't want that living. I'm also pretty okay. Let me just read Battle Screech again. So it creates 2, and then you can tap 3 untapped creatures you control. So if we actually use the Terminate, it's a bit inefficient, but if we use the Terminate and the Thraben Expector, they can't cast and flashback Battle Screech next turn. But then all that does is it just delays it for a bit. So I think what I want to do here is I think I want a Chittering Rats, to be honest. I think I want to stop them getting out more value, get access to more cards and stuff. This just guarantees the Battle Screech back on top of their library. Yeah, that's fine. And to be honest, I think I prefer them hitting the Chittering Rats with the removal spell over the Spectre. I think I would prefer to have a flyer. Eyes would make more sense with Thornbow Archer or Burning Prophet. Yeah, that would make more sense, I think, yeah. Unless they're secretly 4-color and we just haven't seen the 4th color yet, but okay, they're making white. They're doing the Battle Screech thing. Yep. Then they're flashing it back. All is good. Come on, let's go with an Echoing Decay off the top. That's the dream right now. Oh. Oh yes. Oh yes. Here's the thing though. Do we wait and have them flash it back again? That is ooh. Okay. We have to think about this for a minute. This is beautiful. This is a thing of beauty. Okay, well, I'm definitely playing the Mountain out now because they're hellbent, so I don't need to worry about that. I think I'm good with playing out a Rager and holding up a Terminate. I think I'm gonna just play it to see if they're gonna go hard on this. Because if they draw dead, they're probably gonna flash it back because they've nothing better to do. They may as well try and increase their board presence for no additional cost. If they crack the clue here, it tells me that they drew dead. That's for sure. What you got? What you gonna do? Flashing back Sentinel's Eyes. That's fine. I'm not too I'm not too concerned. I can certainly terminate it. I'm not too concerned about that at all. I see what they're doing. So they're not being very clever because they're not playing around a removal spell. Like if I kill the Stribing Inspector, they can't flashback Battle Screech. And I kind of actually want them to flashback Battle Screech so that they have absolutely no chance of winning this game. So I'm actually going to throw this under the bus. To make it look like I'm trying to like soak up a bit of damage and prevent them from coming through too hard. Yeah, I think they're flashing back Battle Screech. Yeah. Oh, this is what I believe we say is a got him.
I've decided to leave work 6 minutes early.
Leon's leaving work 6 minutes early.
To beat the traffic home.
We have the mana to do everything this turn, actually. Boop. They discard Fateless Looting. That is fine by me. They could crack a clue into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good old Mangler. And then represent a bolt, though I don't feel like they're really playing around removal spells very well, so maybe that was not worth doing that way, but we'll see. We will see. Okay, the flashback looting, I imagine. Yep. So that just tells me that they've drawn dead, right there. So, I did that, or it's just not relevant in this. Yeah, they've been 2 lands and then played a land. I'm very happy with seeing that. Very happy indeed. Cool. So I think, that's good. That's what I'm doing this turn. Okay. So I'm going to terminate this. Boop. This lines up so well. This feels like a very good matchup, I think. I can't see how this could be any better, to be honest. They've no resources whatsoever. Even if they have black even if they draw like an Edict effect, which I don't think they're running, we're protected with the Liliana Spectre. Their removal is likely stuff like Bolt, which means that Angler is going to be fine. They could have Journey to Nowhere. If they're lucky to draw that, that's fine. I'll have a Spectre and a Thorn of the Black Rose. I'm okay with that too. Prophetic Prism. Okay, redraw. They are passing. I don't think I need the Chittering Rats right now. I think I'm just going to go to combat. If they have removal, they have removal. That's fine. I'm definitely going to be the one to crawl back into this before them. Boop. This deck feels great. This deck feels real good. Where's my crown? Oh, there it is. Oh, and a bolt. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. As if we didn't already have lethal. But that's good. That's real good. Yeah, got there. That was nice. That felt very slick. I really, really enjoy this deck. The more I play with this deck, the more I think this is actually a better comparison of Jund in Modern than the Mono Black Control is. Because you can definitely close out games when you want to. You can start playing out stuff like the Gurmag Angler and that kind of thing, and you have Bolt for a bit of reach. But yeah, very, very good, very fun. There was a Pauper Jund that I played at one point, and it was real bad. It was a bit more graveyard focused than Modern Jund was, so that it could run stuff like Gurmag Angler and that kind of thing. But yeah, it was running. What was it? Putrid Leech. I quite like that card though. I quite like a good Putrid Leech. I feel like we are not interactive enough here. Relying on one Crypt Rats is not great. I do kind of like Yeah, I think we're gonna have to mulligan here, maybe. Actually, what's the worst case scenario? Yeah, no, the worst case scenario is we end up against Tron and they just get Tron and then we die. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan. This sounds better. Sounds definitely better. I'll ship back one of the thorns, I think. I kind of want to hold on to. I know Radiant Fountain is not particularly useful here, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna ship back the thorn. And they've got black. All right, so we're gonna. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw zombies. I've been seeing an awful lot of zombies lately. I'm gonna play with the red because this way we get to hold up bolt if they do anything that we really don't like. But okay, so they could still be zombies or they could be mono black control. Turn 2 Sign of Blood though seems more mono black control than anything. I think I'm going to Night Swiss for myself here. I don't think there's too much that they can play on this coming turn, whether they're zombies or mono black control, that I'm too worried about having to answer like immediately. So okay, well, I mean, no, don't do that. Bolt Tribal is a good deck. Bolt Tribal is currently tier 1. I'm okay with this. I'd love another black source, to be honest. I'd love some cheaper spells. These shouldn't have been bolts. In an ideal world, we would have drawn one bolt and then like 2 other things. Like what would be good here against mono black? Chittering Rats is good. I'd say Chittering Rats is a little bit better than Phyrexian Rager in this matchup. Not exactly what I was looking for, but I guess I'll play it. I'll get you to discard a card, I guess. It's a bit of an awkward hand. This might give us a bit more info. I'm fairly certain it's just mono black control, but I might be able to tell based on what they've been here. What is it? What you doing, opponent? I quite like Raven's Crime. The retrace is cool. What you gonna do? We've got a whole 7 cards to choose from, so they're slightly ahead of us in terms of card advantage. But I mean, they've spent a bunch of life to do that and haven't really impacted anything. So I'm kind of thankful for that, because it means that we don't really have a whole lot to deal with. Okay, this is a big giveaway. Actually, this is a very big giveaway. Wayfarer's Bauble, 1 for an artifact, and you pay 2 and tap and sack it to search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. There is one specific type of mono black control that runs this, and that is Corrupt Control, because it allows you to. It's colorless ramp basically. It's colorless ramp, but what we now have to be concerned about is Corrupt. Corrupt being 5 and a black, deal damage to your opponent equal to the equal to the number of swamps in play. This helps you get more swamps in quicker. Swamps that you control, sorry, and then you gain life equal to the difference. So this is like a mono black life gain. Okay, I don't think this is good enough to be like competitive in Pauper, but it's really sweet and I really like it. So yeah, could be like a mono black pestilence build or something, but it seems like an interesting deck for sure. But this is pretty much a dead giveaway that it's Corrupt Control. No other build really runs this at all. There's no reason to, unless you want more lands in play. specifically. So I think I'm gonna hold the bolts because we don't have a whole lot to do with them. I guess I could have bolted there and then gotten the Gurmag out, but like, does that even do much? I'm pretty sure that the Monarch is going to be very good against them though, because they're going to have virtually no way of regaining it if they are in fact Corrupt Control. So I have seen this in sideboards, but like definitely not main boards. You see it a lot of the time in like the historic or standard Pauper on Arena. You see this a lot. But you gonna let me game my life? Any day now, opponent. What would I love to start drawing here? I think just a couple small creatures. Probably just good here. Some Liliana Spectres, some Chittering Rats. They'd be beautiful here. Let's get this out. I don't think there's anything our opponent can do about the Monarch in this game now. So I think we're just going to be drawing gas for a while. Chittering Rats is quite nice. Sure. Opponent, you are taking your time. Anytime our opponent, like, you know, ropes you like this, do what I do and just assume that they have a dog and they're trying to eat some spaghetti and the dog wanted to try and get some spaghetti, so they jumped up and spilled spaghetti everywhere. It's a much better way of thinking about it than, you know, being like, my opponent's a jerk. We all need to be positive in these times. Dogs and spaghetti sounds like a great combination for our opponent. So that's what I'm wishing for them. Dogs and spaghetti. Leanne's back. Well, okay. I'm going to yield to this now.
Having a Coke.
Leanne's clocked out for the day. Going to sit down on the sofa and play some Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Okay. I'm actually going to check my email one last time before I go.
Oh, we're getting close to a Corrupt, and it's going to hurt. They could have Tendrils of Corruption as well. The list normally runs 4 of them. Okay, sure. This could just be a mono black life gain kind of thing. I wouldn't be surprised to see them drop like a what's it called? Pristine Talismans. Could see it in this build possibly if they're going for like heavy on the life gain and then lots of life loss for card draw. So maybe? I don't know. I wouldn't say the dog's a jerk. I would just say that they'd be excited for food. They don't necessarily know how to deal in the same way with like everyday interactions and stuff. Gets verdict. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, it's only 1 a turn, but we have them at a virtual 9 right now, kind of. So, yeah. Okay, so Bog is terrible here, obviously, because they don't really do anything with their graveyard. So, I can smell a Corrupt coming off here, though. Like, they're just gonna hit us real hard here in a second. So if I 1, 2, 3, 4, Yeah, I can do it in such a way that I can leave the Raven's Crime in the bin, which I'm pretty happy about. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it's likely they have. Oh, sorry. No, it's not. It's not. It's one more. Okay. That's fine though. That's fine. We're gonna keep drawing cards. We got another Thorn. That's nice. I would not be surprised if our opponent just slaps another Edict effect here. The deck does run like 6 of them at least, so they're essentially removal tribal. Like there's no way that this Garmag Angler is gonna survive. Okay, so yeah, it's a mono black version of like the Evankar's Justice decks basically. They're gonna start getting a lot of life. This is gonna be very slow to beat them. Like they're 15 now. We're gonna get them to 10. And we're one short, but we're also a mountain short, so it kind of doesn't even matter. But we'll be able to Chittering Rats this time, which hopefully means that I forgot about the file. Yep. All right, we're not going to get them to that. This is going to be a grind. This is going to be a serious grind that we're likely to win because we have the Monarch and they pretty much can't do anything about it. So we're drawing 2 cards a turn. We're going to start drawing into discard. And eventually we will draw the 4th bolt and start going that way, but I think we'll basically just be able to tax their resources just heavily enough so that they can't keep up, basically. This is actually a bit of a pain right now, to be honest. So I'm fine with ratsing them here. And they can't do anything about this, so that's okay too. Get them to put something back on top of their library. They miss a draw step, which is pretty big, to be honest, in this match. Yeah, so most of their cards pretty much just give them life. So Pristine Talisman gives them life in such a way that you may as well look at this 2/2 as a 1/2 because this will regain 1 of that life every turn. And I forgot to play the bog. I'm an idiot. I was too busy explaining what I was doing and what's happening to actually play the land. But you know what? It's probably not that big of a deal because I'm basically looking at 2 dead cards right here. So it's no biggie, I guess. And another Defile. Sure. Okay. Crypt Rats. Sure. Okay. So they run Crypt Rats. Right. At least they have Crypt Rats. Well, that Crypt Rats won't survive the turn, so that's fine. I think I want a double bolt here. Like, it's not really like these bolts are going to do a whole lot else other than just hit them. So it's turn 7 and we have them on 17. This is a slow roller for sure. All right, bolt face. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Do I get to bolt your face? Okay. Sweet. Maybe this one will be quicker. Bolt. Okay, so let's Raven's Crime our opponent. I quite like that. This is nice. They're not going to be able to get any good value here. Discard the 1 card. Aha, there we go. It was a corrupt. Nice. They should have done that last turn instead of the rats. It probably would have been more effective. So I'm going to Echoing Decay the rats because Echoing Decay is going to have, like, I'm likely to pull this out. It's quite weak. they would like to pay 4 mana and deal 4 damage to everything, that is also totally fine. Yep, also fine. So now they're in top deck mode, and we are able to drop a Thorn next turn, which is quite nice. Maboggia opponent with my 2 bogs. And then I think I'm just passing turn here. They're at 7, so we got them down a lot this turn. One of the things to bear in mind though is that they have the we're trying so much removal when we don't need it. One of the big problems here is that this, you can pay 6 and sack it to basically super lightning helix. It's like 4, it's drain for 4, so they're at a virtual 13, which is not great. But yeah, they did just draw a swamp though, so that's something. The sooner we can get them to sacrifice this, the better. So I think I'm gonna bolt them end of turn to panic them into doing something. Hopefully. Keep Gang is fine. Boop, 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 boop. Hold up, terminate. Yeah, seems alright. Seems alright. And then we go to end step. Hopefully we draw some more creatures. That'd be great. Night's Whisper's pretty good. So this is virtual gain 2 a turn. So we do need to get more pressure out. Otherwise, we're never going to win this race. But hopefully they don't draw. And they seem to have cast an awful lot of... Where are they? 1 Sign of Blood. 3 Read the Bones. They just cycled the Baron more. This is looking promising. Oh, they got something. It's probably removal. Oh, gross. Yep. Okay, cool. So we need to find a way to... That was like the one card they needed to not draw. Oh, that's bad. I don't know if we can gain life. I think we're actually dead. We've actually just lost. Which is very unfortunate. We can't use Night's Whisper now to draw. And then this turn they can just sacrifice this and kill us. So yeah, I think we're kind of good. They're back to 16. Like they're gonna finish this game out on 20 life. That's kind of gross. It's kind of really gross. Yeah, I mean, it's not really gonna do anything here. If we had another turn or two, we could Carnarium, bounce the fountain, and do all sorts. But yeah, unfortunate. I'll let them kill me though. I don't mind them doing that. There we go. Sideboarding. At least they were quick about it. They even did it with the thing on the stack. Okay, so Duress is definitely a good one here. We have like very few options. Like I'd bring in Gorilla Shaman just as additional bodies that can blow up the pristine talismans, but it doesn't really do anything. The Echoing Decays are terrible, so they're going away. I'm gonna keep the Terminates anyway. I think I'm just gonna drop a couple Edicts as well. Nile to draw into. I mean, yeah, but it means that we do have to drop some stuff out. We don't have a whole lot that needs to come out, really. We've less pointless room, but like I kind of want to keep the Maybe. Yeah, we'll pull one Terminate and we'll pull one Edict, and we'll just bring in the 2 spell bombs just to draw more stuff. Like, they have Crypt Rats, but hold on. Let me consult my my thing here. My database. There's Corrupt Control. Let's have a look. Does this run things in the sideboard? It tends to run. Yeah, it tends to just run stuff. Like, it's just more removal and more discard. Yeah, I think we're good. It's very unlikely no, they definitely wouldn't run to black aggro. They have too many. They've too many cards, to be honest. Look, we've loads of removal in the form of Bolt and stuff, so I'm kind of fine with taking those out too. I might actually bring in the Shenanigans. It seems dumb, but no. I'll in case they bring some creatures in, I'll have some number of removal pieces, I guess. I think it'd be wrong of them to do a transformational sideboard to aggro anyway. Like, I could see them going into like mono black control. That would be reasonable, but I'm gonna keep this. The Night's Whispers are probably just gonna help us get there at some stage. I kind of like the idea of just running out Gorilla Shaman on turn 1. If they want to use a removal spell to just kill it, that's also fine. Like, no skin off my nose, really. And then just ship it over. I'm not sure how relevant the Gorilla Shaman is. It's not particularly useful, to be fair. It's not particularly useful, but it does have some text that's relevant on it, which is way more than the edicts have. So, yep, Wayfarer's Bauble, no problemo. I think I'm just going to combat and attacking. Gorilla go. Okay, so it's 3 mana to blow up the bauble. So what we're doing here is we're effectively pricing them into spending this turn to crack the bauble. Otherwise, we get it with the thing. So I'm okay with that. With the Gorilla Shaman, they can remove this and then do it later, but like, it doesn't really do much. It doesn't help advance their game plan. So, yes, sure thing, opponent. Really wanted to land there. Gonna have to do some old Night's Whispering again. Swamp, please. Untapped swamp, please. Come on, there's loads of them, please. I really wanted to rest this turn. That's the thing, but I also don't want to fall behind. So I'm taking the riskier route of trying to draw into another land so I can land duress. I want to try and get... If they have an ill-gotten gains in their hand, we're going to have a problem. We've basically removed all threat off the board at that stage. If they land that, so I'd rather they didn't. Okay, sweet. We got it. Let's duress them. See that ill-gotten gains and let's pull it out of their hand. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Yes. Let's nail it. Beautiful. Oh, wait. No. Turn off auto yields. Stop. I want to attack with this Gorilla Shaman. Go away. No, don't yield. Stop yielding. I hope this stops now and lets me attack. I accidentally F6'd, but it hasn't gone into attackers yet, so hopefully it's turned off. Knowing Magic Online though, it's likely to just skip past it. Alright, sweet, we got there. Shaman beats. I mean, it's gonna die, like, now. So they have 5 cards in hand. It's these 5 cards. Okay, so they can Tendrils of Corruption this turn and gain a bunch of life, which is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. But we have to assume that the next 1, 2, 3, I'm going to say 4 things. The next 4 things that come out are going to die. Because they have 3 removal spells and they're removal tribal. So, yep. Sack the shaman. What's nice here now is because they used the edict over the likes of the tendrils or the defile, is now the Liliana Spectre shouldn't get them any value, which is quite nice. Which is what I think I'm going to lead with here. Spectre. This is going to eat a defile, I'd say. Just so that they're more mana efficient. So they can defile this turn, then untap, and then hold up Tendrils of Corruption. Which, if you haven't read it, 3 in a black, instant. X damage to target creature and you gain X life, or X is the number of swamps you control. So, I freaking love Pauper. Have I mentioned that recently? Yep, eating the defile to be mana efficient. That's cool. That's fine. I'm going to yield to that. I'm not going to have anything, I don't think, to respond to that with. They're probably going to pitch a swamp here. They're probably just going to draw into more. And they can probably cast everything in their hand right now. So, yeah. I've played my fair share of Corrupt Control. There was a time when I used to be a very, very control-oriented player. That changed with streaming. Playing Control all the time is fine, but like sometimes you're just like, you know what? I play a lot. I just want this over. Just can we just play and just have it done? Yeah, sweet. I'll run burn. They just top decking anyway. Yep. This feels like it might not be that good of a match, to be honest. Okay, so we saw this swamp. It's safe to assume they had another swamp use it. We got rid of this. We got rid of this. So we know they have a tendrils. We know they have a tendrils and they've one other card. Our opponent is not particularly not paying particular attention to the fact that it's their priority. But hey, it's cool. Beginning combat, step, and then our turn. Alright. Bloodfell Caves. I'm pretty good with playing out the Spectre here because they either discard the tendrils or whatever else is in their hand, and I'm fine with either of those because if they drew anything good, they definitely wanted to get the Ill-Gotten Inheritance down. That's the most important thing for them. I think. What else could they? What's the best thing that they could have that isn't Ill-Gotten? Well, it could still be an Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Yeah, I don't want them to have whatever the other card is, if possible. So I'm going to do this. They might discard the other card and then use tendrils to take care of the Spectre. Yeah, it was a defile. So that's, yeah. That's fine. Like I said, removal tribal. They're getting there. Slowly but surely they're getting there. But they're going to have to, in order for them to corrupt us, they're going to have to land corrupt. And that's still only 6. So if we just start getting on the board now, I think that's priority 1 here, is getting on the board as much as possible and as quick as possible. Hopefully getting them to, hopefully, it seems like they're very trigger happy with the removal, hence why they're basically out of cards right now. Yeah, they're just gonna kill it. Yeah, that's fine. I think this is a good time to play Thorn of the Black Rose because we missed 1 or 2 land drops, so I think we want to sort of guarantee those if possible. So that's what I'm gonna do here. It is unfortunate that you draw the card in the end step, so you can't play the land if we draw it this turn, but it's there. It's there. Now that we draw the Firebolt as well, I'm pretty comfortable with with playing this out, because if they were to draw another creature and then find a way to remove the thorn, they'd be able to take it back. But it, as unlikely as that is, playing around that is worth bearing in mind, I guess. I like the old version of Firebolt. It's pretty cool. I think, now feel free to think differently on this. I think that the best cards, right? The best look on cards are the old frame like this, like the old frame, the red frame there, old frame, black border. They're what look best, in my opinion. I'm very much non-foil. I'm very much non-foil and non white border, mostly because I like my decks to look nice and consistent, you know. But absolutely give it character though, you know. So they're on 25 life. It's gonna take some time. This is gonna take some time. Okay, so I think what I want to do here, I think I want the Chittering Rats. Agreed. Good. Okay, so they put a card back on top. That's pretty good. I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm gonna play the Carnarium here over the. I'm gonna bring back the mountain, I guess. Yeah, choosing to do this over the. I'm actually just gonna Firebolt them as well. Screw it. And then swing with this. You love the foil of the new art Phantom Tiger. Phantom Tiger looks beautiful, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think what I want to do here is just start committing to the board. I know it opens me up to something like an Evankar's Justice or whichever, or a Pestilence. They do run Pestilence, but maybe. It's funny because recently a friend of mine was in Japan before the whole coronavirus thing like really kicked off. But they were over there and they know that I like they're a Magic player as well, a good friend of mine, and they were over there visiting their girlfriend who's over there on to learn the language, basically, learn more of it and stuff, which is pretty sweet. But I was talking about the best versions of things, and for a long time I was always adamant that the best art on Opt, the best version of Opt, was Pirate Opt. But then I started talking about how the some of the best looking cards were the old frame with the black border, and I had mentioned this a few times, like pretty recently, or pretty close to the time in which he was coming back. And when I met up with him, he was like, "Oh, here you go," and he gave me 4 old frame black border non-foil Japanese Opts, and he was like, "This is a present from Japan." I'm like, "This looks so fucking good. It looks so good." They're probably my favorite cards that I own. They just look so damn good. Yeah, I have them here somewhere, but I haven't played Paper in so long that I just don't know where they are. They're safe for sure, but they're somewhere. A Bolt is kind of nice here. Yeah, they look so sweet. They look super sweet. Well, I would say my favorite deck of all time is a Phoenix in Modern before the looting ban. That was my jam, absolute jam. Okay, I think I want to Rager here. There's like draw a card. Then I'm gonna play Carnarium, bounce the Fountain. Yeah, I'm fine with yielding to this too. A lot of triggers. drawing a nice number of cards. We're 7 cards ahead of our opponent. 8 cards ahead of our opponent after this draw, which is quite nice. Bog. It could be pretty heads up of our opponent to play Gurmag Angler in the sideboard because they're generally considered creatureless, so that a lot of people will take out the removal, and people like it's not it. There's very little that they could do. I kind of like the idea of removing the Chainer's Edict from their graveyard. Actually, I think they neglected to do anything about it there, so I think they missed it. So I'm going to capitalize on their missed opportunity. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. Get in there, my ratties. Okay, I am loving the nice stocked hand here, to be perfectly honest. This is pretty sweet as well because our opponent's actually playing very slowly. I'm fine with sacrificing our weakest creature, and yeah, we just drew another swamp. A lot of cards in our hand are not really doing a whole lot right now, to be perfectly honest. Still feels like a bunch of dead cards. I'm gonna put the Crypt Rats out just to increase the clock, to be honest. We need to try and make sure that we do not die to another top decked Corrupt. But our opponent is playing very slowly. Like normally I would be considered to play slowly on stream because I'm talking through all the different things and I'm spending some time doing that. But it really feels like our opponent is going real slow. So I'm going to Carnarium. I'm going to bounce Radiant Fontaine. And then go to end step, draw a card, and then go to discard. I'm okay with that. Gurmag Angler, yes. I'm gonna discard the mountain. Now we're getting somewhere. If they have they're just gonna cycle into a Corrupt again. I can feel it. They played a land. This is good. This is very good. Okay, play. That meant to be the Radiant Fountain. I'm a fool. Oh well. Combat. Let me boop ya. They've got 4 minutes left. Like if this ends up as a win, they're gonna just lose the time. It is a very slow deck, to be fair. It's a very slow deck. But I think I'm gonna firebolt them. Boop 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 boop. And then play a Mangler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and say go. Okay, I think we have this one because our opponent didn't sack it. Ill-Gotten Inheritance in their end step. The only way in which I think we could have lost there is if we... Yeah, sweet. Or was that game 3? I can't remember now. Oh well, that was good. Let's see. I've certainly got time for at least another game. So, let's do it. This deck feels really good. I'm not gonna lie. This feels really good. Really good. I'm glad I went with this today. It was I was very close to choosing Mono Black Zombies off the poll because they were tied. I was very close to choosing it because I have noticed that people are playing it a lot more lately, and it seems to be doing really well. So not like hey, I'm suddenly a tier deck well, but like pretty good indeed. There might be a little bit of a pause or a gap between games here, but it's not a big deal. So here we go. We got one. Nice. We lost the die roll. Surprise, surprise. Alright, good opening hand, and that doesn't matter. It's interactive and does a lot of things this deck wants to do, so yeah, I'm pretty okay with this. Okay, thanks, opponent. Giving us a free win, I guess. Sure, let's try that again. Alright. I just checked my phone and realized that this truly is the end of days. Because there was a message from my dad. My dad has sent a TikTok. Now we know TikTok is dying. If a parent sends a TikTok, it's dying. It's like when your parents told you like 5 years ago, I'm joining on Facebook, and you're like, all right, cool, I'm leaving Facebook. Oh god, this hand is terrible. Such card advantage in the lands, but like, yeah, this is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. Oh, this is also pretty bad. Are we on the play? Yeah, we're on the play. We're gonna have to mulligan this as well. We need 2 lands to survive. This is actually fine. This is actually fine. I'm good with keeping. I'm good with dropping the Raven's Crime anyway. That doesn't feel like we have enough resources to start capitalizing on that. So making them discard 1 card in exchange for 1 of ours is not really where I want to be right now. I'm inclined to keep the lands, so I don't know. I don't know. I want to keep the Rager because that helps us fill our hand. Honestly, I think we actually just pitched the Terminate. I think we pitched the Terminate because we have so much removal in this deck. This will help commit to the board while also disrupting them a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm pitching the Terminate. We will definitely draw into more removal. There's no questioning that whatsoever. So now that I've said that, we're going to draw no removal. We're going to draw all lands. Such is the way when I mention these things. Oh, am I going to regret my decision? Elvish Mystic. This could be elves. This is likely elves. Well, I know what I'm doing with my turn. Kill it. Got there. Yeah. Yep. Good old Firebolt. What a card. For a while, I was actually running this in one of my main decks in Modern is Mono Red Prowess, and I was running Firebolt for a time when it was quite good. We need to kill this like yesterday, actually. We need to kill this. Every time they play an elf, it gets a +1/+1 counter. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. So they're going to dump their hand real quick anyway. So I think the thing I would rather do here is try and draw into more removal rather than make them discard a card. I know this means that later in the game the Liliana Spectre is going to be weaker, but I think I just really want to find removal here more than anything else. And I'm glad I did that now because that's another land. And yes, we do have Firebolt in the bin, but we're 2 turns off that. It's going to take our entire turn, and it won't kill this because they will definitely have played more than 2 elves by that stage. So, Winding Way, huge boost to elves, and slivers for that matter, actually. Choose creature or land, reveal top 4 cards, put all the cards of the chosen type into your hand, and all the rest into the graveyard. So they chose, creature. They binned a forest and a distant melody, and obviously got 2 creatures off of it. They can now tap the 2 of these and play out another 1-drop if they want to. They're not going to. That's unusual. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna Spectre.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Sheila. Yeah, sneezing over here. She might have the Rona.
I don't have the Rona.
Okay. Yeah, that seems fine. I'm not going to attack because I would not be against double blocking the Elvish Vanguard. To be perfectly honest, would not be against it. May have to kill the Burstclaw Rangers this coming turn though. Okay, they got their one island. They could Distant Melody here. It's unusual for them to play the island. Could be a Lissel on a Hunt Master actually. Now that I think about it, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana available. Oh, another one. Oh, rip. Okay. Well, this is bad. This is really bad. Yep, their hand is going to be empty this turn by the looks of it. So they can play out another elf. They can tap it and an Elvish Vanguard off the Burstclaw Rangers. Oh, Winding Way. Okay. Oh, they're just going to name creature and then vomit their hand. Yep. It's pretty sick. Whoa. They named creature and they revealed, what was it? Forest, Quirion Ranger, Timberwatch Elf, and Burstclaw Rangers. So they got 3 creatures off that. Oh no, this is okay. Yeah, we're in trouble. We are in a lot of trouble. So if anyone hasn't seen Pauper Elves before, well, here it is. Here it is. This is the matchup where we really value our echoing decays. Oh no. Oh no. Also our Crypt Rats. Crypt Rats is like the best card against them. Another Burstclaw Rangers, sure. Okay, I'm gonna start yielding to these because these are getting ridiculous, frankly. Beginning of combat, sure. You can safely attack with that Vanguard. I'm not going to block it. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fine, but I think it's not good enough at this point. We're gonna have to draw something real good here. Echoing Decay is great, to be honest. Echoing Decay, like I just said, is very, very good here. But it's just not enough. I don't think, not at this point. Chittering Rats ain't great. I think we just killed the 2 Burstclaw Rangers. Now all we have to do is find a way to not die to the Vanguards. So like the Edicts won't do anything. The Edicts won't do anything because they'll just kill the Quirion Ranger. Actually, they might not. Quirion Ranger's too good. It's crazy that this was downshifted to common in a master set from rare. That was an unbelievable boost to the archetype. Super powerful. Okay, we're in trouble. I'm very glad we got rid of the Burstclaw Rangers. Elves is a hell of a deck. Combat. Yes, sure thing. They want to see if I will double block, and I'm going to be honest, I think that's not a bad idea. I don't know of any flash elves, so yes. Oof. Okay. This is bad because Firebolt doesn't kill Lissalana, and that's the big one right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we get rid of the Firebolt, I can Gurmagangler Chittering Rats. That might actually be the line because, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to Chittering Rats because this will slow down the potential for them to go really wide with Huntmaster. And then potentially allow us to double block the Vanguard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Also, the firebolt is not really killing anything here, so yeah, I'm not too concerned about it. Postboard, we should get a bit better, hopefully. They will have stuff like what's it called, spider net, spider silk net, something like that. No, thinking of something else. Something that gives an extra toughness to your creatures, so you don't die to like shrivel and stuff. Lead the stampede. Oh, okay. This Vanguard's gonna get too big to handle, to be honest. What could we draw into here? I think a Sign in Blood into a Sign in Blood, or a Night's Whisper into a Night's Whisper and a land, and then play the land and Night's Whisper into double terminate. That's probably good enough. Oh, not anymore. Not anymore. Yeah, we're gonna get beaten to bits by this Vanguard. Well, I'm fine with jumping with the chittering rats here. It's gonna suck when I pay retail for this Keep It Gang Shinobi. Oh no. Oh no, we're so dead. Yeah, okay, well. Seems we drew the wrong half of our deck, which is it's fine. I mean, that's okay. Can happen. Bring back the fountain, I guess. And then pass. I feel like Mono Black would have a better match against this because they have more sweeper effects in the deck. Like some builds run Pestilence main board or sideboard, and then also Shrivels, and then Echoing Decays and Crypt Rats, and every single land that you have taps for Crypt Rats is pretty good. Nettle Sentinel's out now, which means that we're going to start getting out of control if their hand is in any way good. Yeah, so what's happening here now is they are it's never going to be, we're never going to have enough stuff to be able to block this now. So what's going to happen is they cast an elf spell or a green spell, so it's going to untap Nettle Sentinel, and then because they've cast it, they're going to make an elf as well. So they will, as a result of casting this Llanowar Elves, they will have an untapped Nettle Sentinel, the elf that they've cast, and Lyssalanor Huntmaster's elf token, which means that they have 3 untapped elves, which they can then, if they have a Birchlaw Ranger, they can tap 2 of them, cast another one, do all sorts of ridiculous things. It's now a 12/12. Like, good God. It's like, yeah, Finn Hornet. Yeah, sure. Yeah, hey, opponent, you play these out. You play these out. So now basically the thing that makes this deck so good is that once you have a couple of these kind of effects out, your little mana dorks that are normally bad top decks are now great top decks because they do absolutely ridiculous things. There's no way in which I can survive a flunge here, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure they just attack with everything. I don't think it matters at this point. Yeah. Sure thing. Sounds good. Yeah, I've no top deck that can get me even remotely close now. Not even remotely. And concede. Woo. All right, sideboard. Let's get our boarding on. So edicts are god awful, as I'm sure you can imagine. So yeah, we're gonna bring in another Crypt Rats, and Really thought we would have had more stuff for this. I guess we got it. We got a reasonable number of things main board. But honestly, I think Raven's Crime's actually worse than Chainer's Edict in this matchup. Because what's getting rid of one card gonna do, you know? I wouldn't say no to one or two Duress because they're better than Raven's Crimes. Get rid of like a Distant Melody or that kind of thing. Torn the Black Rose is really bad as well, actually. Maybe we just get rid of anything that isn't like these Shinobi are pretty bad as well. I think this is gonna seem weird, but I think we're actually gonna bring these in, and the reason for that is just more removal. I kind of don't care too much about the hand disruption, to be honest. I'm okay with having a Duress in case we can snipe like a Lead the Stampede or a Winding Way or something, or Distant Melody. I think that's about the best we can hope for. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is not right, but it's also not wrong, if that makes sense. We have a lot of cheap ways to kill creatures, and I think we just drew pretty badly there, to be honest. If we had more removal, we would have been able to manage the situation much more effectively, but I'm okay with 3 removal spells in my opening hand. And then this is also nice because we also get to just discard some stuff. So yeah, I think we can do this. Now sequencing the lands is going to be important here. So we can Bloodfell Caves first, then we won't be able to bolt a bird essentially. We could do it the next turn. Yeah, that's probably fine. It's probably fine because we're on the play. If we're on the draw, I would have led Mountain so that we can just bolt immediately. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Sorry, I was stuck on end step. Forest. That's a nice forest actually. I quite like that. Elvish Mystic. Yes, you got it. Surprise, surprise. Elvish Mystic. On top. Night's Whisper is basically a waste of time. Basically. So yeah, I'm just gonna bolt in Carnarium. Yeah, I don't know about this. It feels like normally the likes of like Mono Black, or if you go into the Orzhov side of things, for the likes of the Pestilence decks, really good against this kind of deck. This with the more targeted removal and discard, not so much. This is very good though. It means they've got one land. So if we just keep killing their stuff, then I'm pretty okay with this. I'm going to use the Edict now because, well, it's an Edict and it's terrible. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to Bloodfell Caves. And then pass. Then next turn, I'll probably Night's Whisper terminate. Now Sentinel, sure. This means that they've no more mana dorks. This is very good for us. Yeah, I think I'm going to Night's Whisper here. I'm going to block from here. Actually, no, hold on. Just in case, for some mad reason, I draw double bolt. This gives me better selection of my mana. Bolt and Decay. I think I'm okay with letting that Sentinel just live here. I'm not too concerned about it. because it doesn't currently tap for mana. I'm pretty okay with it. Yeah, that's fine. We've drawn a lot of removal, and that is really standing to this matchup. Okay, Priest of Titania. Tap to add green for each elf on the battlefield. So naturally, that's not going to survive. I'm going to take 2 here. I'm going to use Bolt on this. Well, there's no elves that don't die to Bolt. I could just be more mana efficient than Terminate. Yeah, I'm just going to mana efficient and Terminate. Efficiency. Important. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. We're good. I'm gonna Spectre. I'm gonna Spectre. Yeah, we're drawing the right half of our deck here, for sure. Discard a card, please, opponent. It's all gas. I know it. Because you haven't been playing lands. Get rid of a Winding Way. That tells me they have another one. Or a Lead the Stampede. Likely a Lead the Stampede, I would say. I think I just want to get another Black Source down and keep the Bolt up. Yeah. It's probably good, right? I'm loving the main deck Bajuka Box in this build. It's unfortunate that we haven't come across many graveyard based decks, but when we have, it's been really, really good. So yeah, I just want to get more Black Sources down. Birchlow Rangers. I'm gonna have to let this untap. Okay. Okay, so I can't let them keep going here, so I'm gonna have to kill the Birchlow Rangers. Now they're not able. Now they're out of mana for this turn. 2 untapped elves and are unable to, well, do anything really. The reason I'm doing this instead of just going yeah whatever and then crypt trotzing is because I'm happy with a trade. I'm very happy with a trade. My card has done its job. The Natal Sentinel did virtually nothing for them, so I'm pretty happy with that. I want to have maximum value on my Crypt Rats where possible, so I'm going to do this and this. Boop boop. Get them to put a card back on top of their library, and honestly, I think I'm good with an Echoing Decay here on the Priest, just to be sure that they can't pull any kind of shenanigans. Yeah. They're past the turn. They've got 2 cards in hand, and they're going to draw another one that they already had. So I think we're in a pretty comfortable spot. Last card in hand being a Chittering Rats is pretty big. That's pretty good. Yep. Korean Ranger, Forest, Birchlow Rangers, and Forest. So they were looking for creatures. They got the creatures, but can't really do a whole lot with them. So this is a very good position to be in, actually. Very, very good position to be in, because we can attack with the Chittering Rats. Okay. We know that 2 of the 4 cards in their hand are creatures, and it's not ridiculous to assume there's at least one more. And I think, based on how stifled a play pattern that our opponent has been playing, my guess would be that they have either a Lead the Stampede or a Distant Melody in their hand as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Thorn of the Black Rose here, right? Hold on a second. I will tap this instead. Yes, there we go. Do it like this. Become the monarch. Now what they're going to feel compelled to do is take the monarchy from me in order to get back in this game. So they're probably going to commit a lot to the board. If they do that, we can then Crypt Rats, and Crypt Rats hard. So I think this is in our best interest here to do it this way. Quarian Ranger, sure, they're going to be able to return a forest to their hand and play it again. Yeah, they're committing. They're committing, I think, which is very nice for us. They have 3 cards in hand. That's fine. I think I'm going to edict them because both of these are very good. I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger on the Crypt Rats just yet. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do this. So I get a little bit more info and a little bit more battlefield presence. I kind of like Double Ranger here, actually, now that I see it. But yeah, you know what? This also indicates to them that this likely sends the signal to them that I am trying to find ways to remove these creatures and don't have it in hand. But instead, I'm just actually filling out the board so that they can't take the monarchy from me on this turn, so they have to commit harder. And if they commit harder, they're going to get it blown out by this Crypt Rats. This Crypt Rats will likely get a concession from them if they play into it in the way that I'm kind of forcing them to. So now, from our opponent's side, they're probably going to feel like it is correct to commit harder here, because if I stay with the monarchy, I'm going to find the Crypt Rats anyway. So it's kind of a case of make them have it, and in this case we do have it. So it's very unfortunate for our opponent, but it is what it is. So lead the Stampede. Yep, there's one of the cards that I assume they didn't just grab that off the top of their deck, but Finhorn Elves, Timberwatch Elf, Elvish Mystic, sure. They can return a forest, play a creature. Yeah, and then just start spamming creatures. This actually works out quite nicely. Yeah, they can tap 2 more. Yeah, get a Finhorn Elves out. Tap the 2 of them, get another creature. Yep. And then yeah, I mean, I think we're looking pretty good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next turn I'll be able to Edict, Flashback Edict. That's pretty good. But I could just, yeah, I think I'm just going to Edict them now and sort of force them to do more, basically. Like they're not getting anywhere. They're barely treading water. So I don't fear any removal, so yeah, let's just go in with a single Rager and see what we do. So this, if we're able to keep them trimmed like this, they basically won't be able to recover at all, and we won't even need the Crypt Rats. But okay, we're drawing a lot of lands now, so we're going to be relying on this rat quite heavily. But I think that's okay. They just drew that forest, otherwise they would have cast it before. Yeah, it was good. It was good stuff, opponent. Oh, they seem to be drawing a lot of okay, that's a thing. That's a thing. I think that's maybe enough. Maybe. You know what? I don't think we need to pull it just yet. I think we can possibly blow them out harder. And I think it might be, well, it will shut them down a lot by killing the 2 of these. Maybe I'd do that. You know what? I'll rats for 1. This just obliterates their board. Absolutely obliterates it. They're gonna have to, yeah. There you go. Concession. Nice. We could have possibly done it sooner, but I think that might have been about right. Honestly, that felt pretty good. Now that's because we were able to kill the 2 mana dorks and they were shy on another land. That's the ideal for us. That is absolutely the ideal for us. So let's see how it goes. This will probably be the last game, I would say. I think. I'd imagine, maybe. But we will see. Yeah, that felt an awful lot more like I expected the way this game to go. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see what we got. Okay, we have 2 removal spells. We have some Night Whispers, so once we run out of the removal, we can draw into more stuff. I don't love it. If these were creatures, I'd be happier. If they were removal spells, I'd be ecstatic. Night Whispers kind of just redraws, but we can bolt the elf on turn 1, and then we can edict on turn 2. So I'm kind of fine with it. My concern would be if they went turn 2 forest elf, and they would be like important elves like Nettle Sentinel or Aquarian Ranger or something. Then I'd be uneasy, but we'll see. Finhorn elves, yes, you got it. Finhorn elves, I imagine they don't like lightning. Tough. Go ahead. Another land of elves. This could be another, yeah, it's another 1-lander. So let's get the value out of our edicts while we can. You know what? I think I'll get the value out of my firebolt instead. This is efficiency. Now I can play my Bloodfell Caves and not be sort of off curve in a sense. It means that next turn, based on the lands that we have. So next turn, if we draw a 1-mana removal spell, we can still kill a creature and Night's Whisper, which is quite nice. They'll probably, I'm surprised. I thought they'd bounce the forest with the Aquarian Ranger, but to play another elf. But maybe they have a bunch of Winding Ways or something. Would not be surprised to see a Winding Way next turn. What do I do? What is the line? I think I want to swamp. I think I'm just gonna get the value out of the edict because they're missing their land drop, which means that the Aquarian Ranger won't be able to give them anything this turn. Next turn we can Night's Whisper, likely get another land, and then have a Terminate available. Nettle Sentinel. Cool. So they've now run out of mana dorks, and they're now playing out the bad dorks. So this is good. This is an opportunity to resolve a Night's Whisper and not worry too much about it. Cool. I think I still kill this. I think I actually still kill this. Because that way they don't have the option of playing a... They don't have the option of attacking for 2 points of damage and then post-combat playing a What are they called again? The one that tops 2 elves for a mana, basically. I'm fine with land here is pretty good. Let's kill this. Play a land. Bug you. Birchlore, there you go. That's the one. Birchlore Rangers, yeah. So now they have 4 cards in which to work with, and they have a single forest. Let's see what they do. Well, they still have 1-drops. They still have 1-drops. We're going to start getting to the point that we will be able to flashback bolts, firebolts and chainer's edicts very soon. So that's nice. I'm going to Night's Whisper myself here because I definitely want to hit the lands where I can. I don't love it. I don't love it. I'm going to Night's Whisper myself again. Not perfect, but bring back a mitten, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to shift turn. So they get a turn of untapping with a Nettle Sentinel. Whether that does anything or not, I don't know. Now might be the time where they play... Oh, it's just an Elvish Mystic. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. We're going to do well. This is a turn where I would be pretty happy with Duress, because it's likely that one of the 4 cards, at least I would wager that 2 of the cards in their hand are either Winding Way, Lead the Stampede, or Distant Melody, and they haven't been able to cast them at all. So our opponent technically should have attacked first so that it could then be untapped, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Yep, and step. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could just double bolt. I think I wanna duress them. Yep, take that, Lead the Stampede. Thank you very much. They have a Vanguard, a Priest, and a Well-Wisher. Okay. Yeah, I don't really care too much about any of them, to be honest. Kill the Mystic. This. Make sure they don't draw into another one in the meantime. Another, like, Lead the Stampede or something, obviously. In the meantime, I'm happy to trade off the Nettle Sentinel. I have way more resources than they do. This now feels good. I'm going to Carnarium and bring back a Swamp, because they're not a graveyard deck. I don't really care too much. But, yeah. Yep. They basically get time walked, essentially. They drew the same card they had before. So yeah, I'm fine with that. Let's just edict them for the lols. Boop, 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 boop. It's all about being mana efficient. This feels way more like the way this game is supposed to go. Honestly, the likelihood of our opponent actually getting through this now is incredibly slim. Like, they can't cast any of the 3 cards in their hand yet. Got an Essence Warden, sure. I really don't care. To be honest, it's not going to do anything. I'd really like more. I play Bloodfell Caves. I'm gonna go to combat. Going to attack. See if they want to chump. If they chump, then that's fine. If not, I'm gonna play Thorn. Actually, hold on. Undo. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I'll do it like that. That's okay. They can have a life as a treat. Eating them for the lols. We're drawing an awful lot of lands. We've got so much mana. All the better to crypt rats you with. Yeah, they're in trouble. They are not hitting their land drops. They are not doing well. We're hitting an awful lot of stuff here. Okay, combat. Wow. Get in there. Let's Lily Spectre. Boop. Boop. This definitely feels like a bad matchup for a thing. We should have probably firebolted there first, so they didn't gain the life, but live and learn, I guess. Getting there. Okay, yeah. I meant to do this earlier. Let's just do it now. We are running out of time. Damn it, end step. I think I skipped too far. This game's over. This game is over. They can play maximum one creature this turn. We edict them. They die. Yep. Yep. Boop. Edict. We are a removal tribal opponent. We are doing pretty well at it. We are doing pretty well. Alright, draw a card. More removal? Maybe? Yes. Nice. Then we can do it on our turn. And then we can crypt rots them for lethal. That's nice. Cool. Well, we're going to gain life so that we can make sure that we don't get dead. And then every elves player's worst nightmare. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, there we go. Got it. Got him. That was pretty sweet. Did we win every game today? I think we won nearly every game today. Oh, that was total style points. Total style points. This felt sick. This felt really, really good. Like, really good. I'd say if you were looking to play like a kind of Jund style thing, I would absolutely run this. I would 100% run this. A couple of things I would point out. The Akiba Gang Shinobis, we never really had huge opportunity to use them, and I know that they're definitely there for the likes of the Tron matchup and stuff. I can't help but think that, I mean, like, yeah, I can consider it because ninjutsu is an ability rather than a cast, so they can't counter it. Yeah, maybe it is just good, really, really good against Tron, but yeah, this deck really impressed. This deck really, really impressed. The mana, I was unsure about the 2 Radiant Fountain in the mana, but to be perfectly honest, the mana was great. The mana was really, really good. Everything about this deck felt really nice. Just the right amount of discard, just the right amount of removal. Yeah, it felt fantastic, to be honest. If I was to make any changes at all, I would probably change an Echoing Decay for maybe another Angler. I feel like when we saw the Angler, we were like, oh, we're going to kill them. We're really going to kill them. Like, it didn't feel win more. It just felt like we're turning the tide whether they like it or not. So, yeah, I would probably swap an Echoing Decay for a Gurmag Angler. In the board, I would probably go... What would I do with the board? Obviously, we didn't really come across blue today, so Pyroblasts, but we know how good Pyroblasts are, so that's fine. Yeah, I'd probably cut a Duress for maybe like another sweeper kind of effect, like an Evankar's Justice maybe, to do the 2 damage, or maybe just the 4th Crypt Rats, actually. Yeah, I would be pretty okay with the 4th Crypt Rats. More removal. It's all good, I guess. Yeah. This so far I think has actually been my favorite deck to play. Out of all the Pauper streams that I've done so far. If you like the deck, it is listed up on my Stream Decker as the deck that I'm currently using. Here's the list. It is slightly more expensive online due to the cost of Thorn of the Black Rose, which is currently at $14.34. Quite an expensive card for online because it was only available in treasure chests for a long time. Actually, I think it's still only available in treasure chests. Is the only place where you can get them, because obviously the, what was it called? The conspiracy set that it comes from was never printed online. So, but in paper it is $45, $46. Honestly, a big bulk of that comes from the Pyroblast and the sideboard. And if you're playing Pauper, you probably have a place out of that already. So, yeah, you're looking at like 30 to 40 for the deck. Like it's real good. Also, I've noticed that MTG Goldfish has a tendency to slightly like inflate the paper prices. I would not be surprised if you got this deck for like 30 compared to the 45, 46. So, yeah, really, really good, really, really strong. I would definitely recommend it. I would imagine it has a little bit of a worse time against the, this is going to sound weird, against the blue decks compared to maybe the likes of the mono black and stuff, and that's mostly because their sideboard hydroblasts are now relevant. They can sideboard in hydroblasts and counter your terminates, or you know, counter your pyroblasts and stuff, you know, and you have that back and forth then. But maybe I'm overthinking it, but that's how that was anyway. So that's going to be it for myself today. Where's my camera? There I am. That's going to be it for myself today, and yeah, it was fantastic. I loved it. If you're not yet following me over on Twitter, please do so. The VOD for this, if you missed any of it and want to catch up or want to just watch it again, it will be up on my YouTube, youtube.com/Savantier. And that is it until Friday, where I will be back on with another lost my train of thought there. I'll be back on with another deck on Friday. Keep an eye out on my Twitter if you want to have a vote on what deck I will be playing. But until then, everybody, take it easy, stay safe, wash your hands, and keep on janking.